Crescent Hill Radio.
Hello once again, everybody, for another edition of Cumberland Country right here on WCHQ 100.9 FM. I am CJ Cumberland, and I'm your host, as always. And it's December, and you know what that means. I mentioned this maybe a month or so back, that this month marks my 5th year on WCHQ, believe it or not. And so we're going to be doing some special stuff all month long here. There we go. And the first special thing we have is we are having a co-host tonight, Mr. Moondog Hall. Moondog's in town for a little while. And, of course, we have Tom Boone of Tom Boone in the back. Moondog Hall. There he is. You know, Tom, Moondog has his own button here at WCHQ.
All right. Yeah.
Wow.
I've come a long way.
You got to be really special if you got your own button.
Right. So we got Tom Boone of Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers live in the studio. That's kind of a tongue twister.
Say it 5 times as fast as you can.
I won't do that.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Did you guys used to play at the Back Porch Lounge too, or something like that?
No, we played at the Hideaway Saloon for 7 years, Mondays, every Monday for 7 years.
So we do have Tom Boone here, and we're going to be talking not only to Tom Boone about his music, but about the Eastwood Records Americana Fest coming up December 10th at Zanzibar. And you're going to be playing along with John Clay and Whiskey Riders.
Exactly.
So let's get right to it. Tom, are you from the local area?
I grew up in Louisville, but we moved in 1975 to Lebanon Junction, and I've been there ever since.
Gotcha.
Bought a 1900s house. I started working on it in 1975, and I'm still working on it.
There you go, man. So it's from how old is it?
It's built around 1900.
All right.
As best we can,
Gotcha.
but sometime between 1900 and 1903, somewhere in there.
You got any Haints in there?
Yeah,
You do?
I do. There's a story there. There was a guy there that's called the Old Pike House.
Okay.
And I hope I'm not stepping on any Pike people's toes, but it's pretty well known that Mr. Pike was he liked his bottle. I find whiskey every time I cut into something. I find whiskey bottles because his wife wasn't too fond of it.
She'd hide them behind the.
I
wall
found
there.
one from 1940, I think, and it still had about. It was a half pint bottle. Still had about that much.
No
in
kidding.
it, and it was done turned black.
Wow.
It was underneath. There's a closet underneath the steps in the bathroom, and it was all the way to the back of the.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, he had a buddy who did work there like a hired hand kind of guy.
Right.
And he stayed in an outbuilding. And one night he was very drunk and knocked a coal oil lantern over and burned himself up.
Oh wow.
And that's been verified by several people.
Right. Yeah, I think you actually told me that story before.
We just did dug a drainage ditch behind the house and found some old bottles and found the burnt remains of that building.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, Moondog swears up and down every time he's in the studio. The ghost of Waylon Jennings kind of is present.
Hell yeah.
Don't you?
I didn't say that, but one time.
Of course, we do. Me and we also have experience at the old haunted honky tonk there in Wilder, Kentucky, Bobby Mackey's Music World.
There's a million of them.
But how'd you get started in music, Tom?
Well, I started playing guitar probably around 1970, and I just did it as a hobby for a long time because I was raising kids and working in Louisville. I was union carpenter for 18 years, and so commuting back and forth to Louisville, and I just didn't really have time to play out.
Right.
And, my kids will tell you I went to every football game, every PTA meeting, every spelling bee. If they had something, we were there. My wife both. But now it's my turn. So I started. That's the whole thing behind Second Childhood.
That's your answer. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I started playing out when I was about 45, probably.
Wow. Yeah. Cool. Do you remember writing your first original song?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It was Old Time Ways.
Okay. So it's still around.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Still.
Well, let's go ahead and kick off the show with a live tune. What are you going to start with, Tom?
How about Tomorrow's Going to Be Another Day?
That'll work.
And I'm going to tell the listeners right now, if my voice cracks, I've been fighting with voice problems for about 3 weeks. And
Right.
I did 2 shows in Lexington yesterday. So.
Oh, you're all right, man. Go for it.
Well, I can't back up and I won't back down. Word gets around in this one-horse town. Just can't see the forest for the trees. It's too damn cold, I need a good warm breeze. There's birds in the attic and the roof's got a leak. Cable's been off for a whole damn week. The sun won't shine and the clouds are gonna stay. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Well, tomorrow's gonna be another day. The sun gonna shine and the clouds go away. People gonna smile and the kids gonna play. Trouble be gone and things okay. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. We've all been sick and the toilet won't flush. Car's got a flat, the neighbor's dog won't hush. I got sick to one, half dozen of another. Can't love myself if I can't love my brother. The whole damn world is going insane, and nobody's willing to take the blame. One thing, no, I sure can say, tomorrow's gonna be another day. Well, tomorrow's gonna be another day. The sun gonna shine and the clouds go away. People gonna smile and the kids gonna play. Trouble be gone and things okay. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. The sun's going down behind them dark clouds. Moon's coming up like a body in a shroud. I'm gonna get out of this fire and back in that pan. This worrying thing's just got way out of hand. A good night's sleep is just what I need. Wake up in the morning, cup of coffee and me. A brand new outlook on a brand new day. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Well, tomorrow's gonna be another day. The sun gonna shine and the clouds go away. People gonna smile and the kids gonna play. Trouble be gone and things okay. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Tomorrow's gonna be another day.
All right. Tom Boone live on Cumberland Country on WCHQ 100.9 FM. And the Moondog Hall is co-hosting tonight. What'd you think, Moondog?
That's solid stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
I love Tom's stuff, man. I remember meeting you at Uncle Slayton's, and we did that Louisville Live Aid.
Right.
And Tom he's been quite a gentleman. He's a class act and has great sound, man.
Absolutely.
Wow, appreciate it.
It's like John Prine kind of stuff, man.
Well,
Yeah, man.
Kelly Scott Franklin did a podcast with me and Johnny right the week of our release show, and he said, I've been listening to your music for 2 weeks straight now, and I've been trying to categorize it. And I would say it's John Prine meets the Grateful Dead.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when you say Johnny, you mean Jonathan Bramwell.
Right, exactly.
He plays with you quite often.
Quite
Oh,
often,
he's
yeah.
talented fellow.
Yeah. Love playing with Johnny. He's almost become my adopted son.
There you go.
His dad might not like it. I said that.
So I want to talk about your influences, but before I do that, I want to know, what does Tom Boone listen to when he just wants to kick back and enjoy music?
Sam Bush a lot. Yonder Mountain String Band. I like Jackson Brown. I'm not listening to a lot of new stuff because my record collection and CD collection goes back a long way. And one thing, I'm 66. Well, I'll be 66 in March. And the older you get, you're like the less likely to spend $15 on a CD.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I love my old stuff like that, Tony Rice and the old bluegrass stuff.
Yeah. You mentioned CDs. I've actually heard from somebody who's apparently in the know that CDs are a dying. They're kind of going to go the way of cassettes. And did you know that cassettes and
they keep saying that, but
yeah.
I keep buying it. And I think that a lot of folks like to have them for keepsake. They're
I do
great to
too.
sell at shows and that kind of thing.
I like to have something solid in the hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is good to have them because you do have people come up and say, I want to buy a CD.
Right.
Yeah.
And but we do have all the Eastwood record artists are on vinyl also.
Right.
So, that's the slogan is putting Louisville on wax.
Yeah, man. I had the
That's
opportunity.
cool.
I think shortly after it was the vinyl was released, you showed me it. And it's the tie dye. The wax is tie dyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no two are alike.
Right.
The way they mix the colors in there, so no two will ever be alike.
Very cool.
That's
Very
real
cool. So who are your influences?
Well, like say John Prine, Sam Bush, the band, Allman Brothers. I wrote one song, "Breathing Room," on our first album, just as a jam. You
Right.
know, it has got 2 short verses, but sometimes when we haven't done it much since we left the Hideaway, but we'd have so many different people come in and just sit in at the Hideaway. Great, some of Louisville's best pickers came in. Mike Schroeder, Dave Chandler, just incredible pickers. Right. And we had a recording of "Friend of the Devil" that went on for like 12 minutes.
Oh wow, just a jam.
A jam, just everybody
Very cool.
taking a solo. So.
Yeah, the Louisville music scene is great, and we're going to get into that later. But right now, we're going to play a cut off your latest release. In fact, it's the title cut, "Second Childhood."
Yeah.
And we mentioned that earlier.
Right.
So,
And
is there anything else you can tell us about this song?
Yes, lots.
Yeah.
It's kind of the story of my life, actually.
Gotcha.
And like I was telling you earlier, I did everything I could with my kids.
Right.
My mom and dad both had Alzheimer's, so when I say I helped my folks, I did all I could. 15 years of my life was devoted pretty much to my mom and dad. Being an only child,
right.
It was all on me. So once I got that out of the way, I'm like, it's my time.
Absolutely.
and so I like to say I grew up and I was pretty good at it, but I've decided to start a second child.
There you go. So here's Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers with "Second Childhood" on Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM.
But got through school, just barely passed, then realized that it couldn't last. Put my nose to the grindstone, grew up to be a man. Well, marriage came and kids came too. I paid their way through private school, the American dream, and a working fool. Well, I grew up and did real well, so many times saved by the bell. I got a big old mortgage, I was living in overdrive. I helped my folks, did all I could. Now that's all done, it's understood. It's time to start my second childhood. My bosses got the best of me. It wasn't far from slavery. I learned the meaning of road hard to put up with. Well, paydays came and paydays went. By the time that all them bills were sent, there was just enough left to pay the rent. I grew up and did real well, so many times saved by the bell. I got a big old mortgage and I was living in overdrive. I helped my folks, did all I could. Now that's all done, it's understood, and it's time to start my second childhood. playmates, Tom and Joel, old boy. Well, taxes, there was no end. Everybody's paid, but nothing left to spend. The IRS was not my friend. Well, I grew up and did real well, so many times saved by the bell. I got a big old mortgage, I was living in overdrive. I helped my folks, did all I could. Now that's all done, it's understood. It's time to start my second childhood. Now you folks that told the line, your time will come and it's sweet time. Just hang in there like a hair in a biscuit. You'd quit right now if you could, but your time will come, it's understood, when you can start your second childhood. I grew up and did real well, so many times saved by the bell. I got a big old mortgage and I was living in overdrive. I helped my folks, did all I could. Now that's all done, it's understood, and it's time to start my second childhood. Yes, it's time to start my second childhood.
Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers' second childhood on WCHQ 100.9 FM. And this is Cumberland Country, and I am CJ Cumberland, your host. And Tom Boone is live in the studio, and we've got the Moondog live with us too. He's back in town for a limited engagement.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out for a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, broken road plans. So
there you go. There you go. So, Tom, we are, talking about the, in addition to just talking about your music, we are talking about the Eastwood Records Americana Fest that's right. December 10th right. with John Clay and Whiskey Riders, and that's going to be at Zanzibar, and that is a 25 and over show. So, tell me. You're a member of the Eastwood Records family, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and who else is on there? Is
the Shears, which I think they're from Jacksonville, Florida, but then the Whiskey Riders, John Clay, Peter Searcy, and John's working, or Wes is working to get some other more well-known artists there. I'm not going to say until they jump on board, but I'm just happy to be able to say, hey, I'm with a record company. I signed a record contract.
There you go, so good deal.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes me very happy.
So I want to talk about your writing. Do you have a writing process? Do you sit down and say, I'm going to write a song?
No, they just sort of come to me. I've here lately, I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to say, I am going to discipline. I'm retired. And I've always been a really disciplined person, but I'm becoming less disciplined as a retiree, and so I am trying to get some things done around the house, and but I've been trying to schedule my day and have like at least an hour set aside for music.
Right.
But I rarely do it. Usually something comes to me right before all the songs on this record, for the most part, we'd been doing a while. I'd written one here and written one there, and then we start doing them with the band, which is the process that I like. I like to play songs with the band for a while and get the feel of them, because the way you write them isn't always the way they turn out once you start doing them live.
Sure.
So almost all the songs except for It Didn't Work Out That Way, I wrote that right. I wanted something else on there. I wanted to get 10 new songs, including Johnny's 2 and Steve's 1. Steve's got I really like Steve's songs that he's got on there. So Long. He's not that crazy about it, but I think it's one of the best songs on the album.
Good deal. Do you feel like, you're talking about writing songs, do you feel like your best work just kind of comes to you?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the way I feel.
Exactly.
99% of the songwriters I've had on this show in the last 5 years have said that. It's almost like they're, channeling something, or they're just taking. Joel Timothy, I don't know if you know who Joel was. Joel's not in the area anymore, but he said he is almost like he's just taking notes.
Yeah.
And there is an art to songwriting, I believe. But do you believe songwriting can be taught, or do you think you have to have some innate ability to do it?
Well, I think you need some innate ability, because I know some people who are trying to write songs and it just ain't happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You run into them and they're trying their best, but I don't know what that gene is or whatever that does it, but some people just don't have it, even though they want to.
Right. And you being, and I'm sure you don't mind me mentioning this, you being a little older than, the typical songwriter out here playing.
Right.
You have lots more life experience. So
Exactly.
I feel like, I write from experience. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay. Well, we're going to play another live song. How about that?
Sure.
What are you going to play for us?
This is called Young Man. This is on both albums. This is a song. I wrote this because I'd been doing Neil Young's Old Man for so many years. I started to play. This was one of the first. When Harvest came out, I bought the songbook and learned every song, and that at one time I could play them all. But now it's down to just Old Man.
Right.
And I played it for years, and one day it just kind of dawned on me, that's a young man speaking to an old man, and you're not a young man anymore. And there's a line in that song that says 24 and there's so much more. And I remember being 24, turning 24 and playing that song, and I think, well, that's cool. I'm 24.
Right.
That's, there's so much more. Well, now it's more than 64, and there's a whole lot less.
Right.
So, I wrote Young Man, which is basically me, the old man, speaking to some young people who were doing some questionable things. Some people that worked for me, some people that related to me, whatever. But it's just kind of a generalized to a certain group of young people.
All right, good deal.
I tried to give you of my sweat and tears. You think my knowledge is something to fear. Sometimes you listen, but most times you turn. I won't be with you if you crash and burn. There is an opening for you to pass. Put your heart into the things that last. Young man, listen, open up your mind. I've tried to teach you, but you close your eyes. There is more to make your life go by. It won't be easy, and sometimes you'll cry. I have some answers, and I'll pass them to you. Put down your poison and your witch's brew. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. There's so much more your heart and soul can bring. Stop and listen to the souls of age. Tear down your walls and throw away your rage. When I leave, I take my world with me. It could be yours if you could only see. Young man, listen, open up your mind. I've tried to teach you, but you close your eyes. There is more to make your life go by. It won't be easy, and sometimes you'll cry. I have some answers, and I'll pass them to you. Put down your poison and your witch's brew.
All right. Tom Boone live on Cumberland Country WCHQ 100.9 FM. I want to encourage you guys to stick around after Cumberland Country till 8 p.m. for Hippy Head Spotlight tonight on Hippy Head Spotlight. The Moondog is on in the spotlight.
I like that you keep saying the Moondog.
The Moondog, yeah. I say, somebody called me out on that the other day, Tom, and maybe you understand what I'm talking about. Like where I come from, it's like you go to the Walmart. You log on to the Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I'm up there near Walmart and whatever you said.
Right, absolutely. You're the Moondog.
That's pretty good status.
Yeah.
I think I've done all right for a poor boy from the west end of Louisville.
Absolutely. So Tom Boone, Tom's playing December 10th at Zanzibar for the Eastwood Record Americana Fest, and also you're going to be out tonight after the show at Goodwood to finish up your normal Thursday night show.
Right, I've got to thank Alana for filling in for me, and she was glad to do it. And I'm looking forward to going back and picking some songs with her.
Well,
but I do Goodwood every Thursday. I'm also doing every second Wednesday at the Bourbon Barrel Tavern in E-Town.
Okay.
And then, we're playing Time and Space once about every couple months probably. We played Blue Stallion Brewery last night in Lexington. So we're branching out. We got some other I played Woodlands Tavern in Columbus, Ohio Thanksgiving week. So we're getting around, and I'm loving it.
That kind of brings me right into the next part of my my interview here. Excuse me. What are your aspirations as a musician? And by that, I mean, where would you like your music to take you?
Well, I'm happy right now.
Right.
I'm getting the music out to more people than ever. But that's the thing that, for me, I'm not looking to get wealthy. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. So, but I love to perform. The live thing is my favorite thing. So, we may move up a little bit here, but I don't want to get on no damn bus and tour like Willie.
Right.
Not at my age.
Right.
And so I'm happy just the way things are going right now.
Good deal. We talked about the local community here, the music community.
Yeah.
And just to me, it's just so much talent in one area.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes being a musician myself, sometimes it can be a bad thing because you could have 4 or 5 people playing at the same time on the same night.
Right.
And,
oh yeah, and that's the thing. Playing here is just like our release show. I kept watching all the other shows. What's going on? Because I wanted to get a good crowd for our release show. And I thought everything was cool until the night that I went to play, and PMA was playing at Flanagan's, I think, and Restless Leg String Band was playing at the Monkey Ranch, and Hot Iron Skillet was playing at. So all the bands that our fans like, the same people that like us, like all those bands,
right.
And so I was like, well, we did get a pretty good crowd. But if all those other bands hadn't been playing, it would have been a lot bigger.
Absolutely. Well, I'm trying to cue up another one of your songs here. I'm having some trouble. Why don't we go ahead and play another live one?
Sure.
While I figure out what the problem is here. What are you going to play?
Let me get in tune, which is always
encouraged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always say we tune because we care.
I hate, just like last night, I tuned for a song, and right in the middle of it, or maybe a verse into it, I started going out of tune.
Right, and you hate that. You don't want to. You got to play. You got to play through it. You don't want to stop, but then you're like, it's like almost like hands on a chalkboard.
This is called My Backyard.
Alrighty.
I like to walk in my backyard, but what I own doesn't go that far. So I climb fences and walk on by to the top of the hill where I touch the sky. When I'm walking in my backyard, and I like to work in my backyard. I do a little sweating, but it's not that hard. Hoeing that corn and picking them beans in my tie-dyed shirt and my cut-off jeans. When I'm working in my backyard, and we have parties in my backyard. I do a little sweating, but it's not that hard. Picking on guitars and mandolins, singing our songs till the nighttime ends. We have parties in my backyard. And I like to chill in my backyard, laying on my back and watching the stars. I drink a little bourbon, that's my birthright. Whippoorwill calling in the last daylight. When I'm chilling in my backyard, and everybody needs their own backyard, a place they can play and work real hard, plant their own seeds and sing their own songs, do their own walking, no right or wrong. Everybody needs their own backyard. I like to walk in my backyard, but what I own doesn't go that far. So I climb fences and walk on by to the top of the hill where I touch the sky. When I'm walking in my backyard,
Tom Boone
Very
live
nice.
on Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM. All right, Tom, I like that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your music kind of paints a picture, tells a story. I mean, and that's the best kind of music, I think.
I like that.
I like the older,
like you telling me that.
Right. No, I like the
that.
older country music. Traditional
Right,
country music,
sure.
and to tell stories. What about you, Mundo?
Absolutely.
Your music tells stories.
I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Absolutely.
It's all in the story.
I found Mundo at a loss for words.
I was thinking about what he was saying there, because it's right. I mean, you hear that song, you think Tom Boone, like he's talking about being in his backyard, picking his jeans and his tie-dyed shirt and his cut-off jeans.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that comparison of John Prine and
Yeah,
Grateful Dead.
That come true right there.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I thought.
So I think I've got this figured out here, Tom. So I want to play another cut off your latest release. Tell me about Dude's Tune.
That is an instrumental. I
always
fooled around with Open G, and I get going in the house sometimes and going through all these little runs and stuff that you can do with Open G, and I thought, we're putting a record out. I need to stabilize one of these things and do something with it.
Showcase some picking there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I came up with the basic melody, and then I brought it to the band. I said I'd like to put this on the record. And next thing you know, everybody had their own little riff going. So
there you go. Well, let's give it a listen. And hopefully I've got this figured out. Here's Tom Boone. Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers.
He got you.
Here's Dude's Tune on Cumberland Country. Was Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers with Dude's Tune.
Is that as fast as you can say that?
That's as fast as I'm going to say it. And we got Tom live in the studio along with the Moondog Hall. He's
Tom
here too.
Boone and the Back Porch Pickers.
Yeah, see, you got to say it that way. I think it's by design. Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers.
There you go. That's nice.
There we go. I like that. Tom, again, we've been mentioning throughout the show that not only do you have your Thursday night show and your every other Wednesday night show, but you've got a Eastwood Record Showcase, the Americana Fest, December 10th.
Right.
At Zanzibar, and you're going to be playing with John Clay and Whiskey Riders. So that should be
I'm looking forward to it because normally it's just us, and I like doing 4-hour shows or whatever. I thrive on it, really, because I was talking to Wes earlier, and I said, how much time are you going to let us play? And he said, well, probably 45 minutes.
Right.
I said, couldn't we at least have an hour?
Yeah, just another 15 minutes.
That's just getting me warmed up.
It's not going to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
So the doors are at 8, and the show is at 9. Again, Americana Fest, December 10th at Zanzibar. And I want to talk about your live show, Tom. Say some of my listeners are on the fence about coming out. Convince them, man. What's your show like?
Well, we mix it up. Every show's different as far as, I don't start with the same song and finish with the same song or whatever. we mix it up, and we play. I keep my set. It's not really a set list; it's a master list, and I keep that handy. And we'll play. We might play John Prine because the crowd's sort of mellow, and we'll do some John Prine, and I do like Jackson Brown's Barricades of Heaven as far as my covers, and then also do The Boxer, the old Simon and Garfunkel tune, and we cater to the audience, not exactly as request, but we can feel what the audience wants, you know, and we always try to get all our originals in, of course. Sure. And but we have a good time. It's not exactly bluegrass. We have been branded as bluegrass, but it's really not. Because you know, if you ask Steve Cooley if that's bluegrass, he goes, "Well, it ain't bluegrass."
Steve would know.
Yeah, he would. He would know pretty much what any kind of music. But it's a little rock, acoustic rock. It's folky. It's jam. You know, we like to jam it out. We played last night, and a couple of the guys from Restless Legs String Band joined us, and we jammed it out. You know, and people were dancing, people were having a good time. It filled the place up, and you know, we're gonna try to make you have a good time if you come see us.
Absolutely. Well, you know, talking about playing live, and I call these bucket list gigs. Is there any place that would just be like a dream for you to play that you haven't played as of yet?
My dream would be to open for John Prine anywhere.
Anywhere, okay.
Or to play with Sam Bush anywhere.
Right.
Open for Sam Bush, or have Sam Bush. Now, this is my real dream.
Right.
Sam Bush comes on stage.
Right.
And plays with us. That's my biggest dream.
Well, I'd love for Sam Bush to come by the house and just pick a little.
Yeah, my wife says that all the time. Why, if John Prine or Jackson Brown or Sam's around, wish they'd stop by. Yeah, sure. Yeah, they've got that kind of time, all right.
So let's go ahead and play another live one, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit, and we'll close out the show with a final cut from the CD.
Okay. This is called Final Encore. I wrote this for my audience. There's a group of people who have been coming to see me ever since Mondays at the Hideaway. And they still come, even though the Hideaway's not really having much live music anymore. Now they moved to Time and Space. So anytime I play Time and Space, most of those people come, and we're getting new people. You know, we're getting people down in E-Town at the Bourbon Barrel Tavern. A lot of people are liking what we do. So I wrote this song for my audience, and those people, not just the people that have been faithful, but everybody that listens to my music. Never played with old Graham Parsons, never played with Emmett Lou, never played at the Grand Ole Opry, didn't do all I wanted to do. When I sing that final encore, when that final debt comes due, I will leave with satisfaction, 'cause I sang my best for you. Someday I'm gonna leave the stage for one last time, pack it up and load it out and say one last goodbye. When I sing that final encore, hope you sing it with me too. And I will leave with satisfaction, 'cause I sang my best with you. Never sold 1,000,000 records, never played for royalty. No one ever called me famous, but I'm not a casualty. Never went on tour with Willie, though I guess I've smoked a few. So when I sing that final set, I'll be thankful I had you. Someday I'm gonna leave the stage for one last time. Pack it up and load it out and say one last goodbye. When I sing that final encore, hope you'll sing it with me too. And I will leave with satisfaction, 'cause I sang my best with you. I didn't play at Woodstock, not even Bonnaroo, but I made a decent living with my hands as I could do. My heart was in the music and the friends I made through you. So when I make that final loadout, I'll be grateful I had you. Someday I'm gonna leave the stage for one last time. Pack it up and load it out and say one last goodbye. When I sing that final encore, hope you sing it with me too. And I will leave with satisfaction, 'cause I sang my best with you.
All right. Tom Boone, live on Cumberland Country, WCHQ 100.9 FM. And we've also got Moondog with us.
No, you didn't have to change now.
The Moondog with us.
Moondog.
Live in the studio. And Moondog's going to be on Hippy Head Show tonight.
It's first time.
Yeah,
Can you
man.
believe that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excited
Should be
about
fun.
that.
I'm going to hang out and just watch the excitement.
Well,
Yeah, man.
I can't wait to see what he's got.
So, Tom, let's talk a little bit about the album Second Childhood. I know you recorded it at Deadbird Studios, because I actually happened to stop by to see Dave Chale, the engineer there, and you guys were recording.
Right.
So tell me about your studio experience. That's not your first time in the studio.
No, but it was the first studio that I did, getting back to the old time ways, was this little small studio. It only had one sound booth for one person. You might have fit two in there, but we didn't. We just did one person at a time.
Right.
And I don't feel like the first album has got a unity feel about it. I don't know, or a live, the energy that our new album, I think we did it live in the studio.
Right.
And of course, and we didn't do a lot of takes. Most songs, because we've been playing them, and
Sure.
So my experience at Deadwood was great. Dave was real easy to work with, and Steve was an experienced studio guy. They have I don't know.
Steve
if you know.
Sturgill, we're talking about.
Yeah. Steve. They have Earth Tone Analog up in Corinth, Indiana, and so that's him and Chet. Chet's last name escapes me right. Surgener. Anyway, and anyway, Steve's an experienced studio guy, so it was easy working with Steve. And Johnny's been in the studio, and I was probably the least experienced. I was the oldest, but the least experienced as far as studio time. So,
So go ahead and identify your band again in case.
Steve Sturgill on lead guitar. Johnny Bramall on banjo and resonator, and he goes by Ben Ray Genwright on Facebook, and he goes by Alex Herman out in public. Everybody calls him Herman, but his real name is Alex Herman Hull.
There's a song right there.
Yeah.
But his real name.
When we go introducing the band on stage, I'm like, well, Herman, what is it?
What is today?
Well,
yeah.
Tell him who you are.
He must be hiding from somebody.
Possibly, but he's a big fella. I don't think he
ain't scared of nobody.
No.
I got you. Do you like studio compared to playing live? I mean, night and day, but do you have a preference?
I'd rather play live. I just love playing live.
Yeah, that's that's the bread and butter right there.
Yeah,
playing live.
I love it. Other people would rather be in the studio, but that's where the fun's at to me.
Absolutely.
And like I was telling you, last night those guys from Restless Leg came and sat in with us, and we're all jamming. Everybody's taking solos, and that's where I feel like you get a good show.
Right.
And people in the audience are hooping and hollering when somebody takes a good solo, and that's the fun.
Good deal. Well, we're gonna play another cut off your CD, and we're gonna come back. We may have time for another live one, so you be thinking about what you want to do.
Okay.
We're gonna play "It Didn't Work Out That Way," or is that what I didn't work out that way?
Yep.
What can you tell us about this one?
Well, like I was telling you earlier, we've always been branded as bluegrass, but we're not.
Right.
And I thought one day I was just sitting around and I was wanting to write something. That was one of the songs that I wrote right before the record.
Right.
And I wanted to get another original on the record. And I thought, I am going to write a bluegrass tune.
Right.
This is going to be. And when I was writing, I was thinking, this is really hokey. But a couple of people were like, man, that's a good song. That's a good bluegrass song.
Oh, good deal. Well, here it is. Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers with "It Didn't Work Out That Way" on Cumberland Country.
To say it faster now.
WCHQ 100.9 FM.
Time that I saw you, I couldn't look away. I thought you'd be that woman that forever I would stay. I tried to give you all my love and never go astray. But you ran off with another, and it didn't work out that way. The sun, it was not shining on the day that I met you. I should have took that as a sign of things that would come true. You promised me a world in which you'd love me every day. But now I'm sad and lonely, 'cause it didn't work out that way. We'd have some children, a little cabin and some land. We'd walk along the beach and leave our footprints in the sand. You packed your clothes and left me, and I don't know what to say. My dreams are gone forever, 'cause it didn't work out that way. The sun, it was not shining on the day that I met you. I should have took that as a sign of things that would come true. You promised me a world in which you love me every day. But now I'm sad and lonely, 'cause it didn't work out that way. Me for a man you thought had riches far and wide. You thought he had a mansion where he'd keep you by his side. But he just wanted fun with you and then threw you away. He thought you'd come back to me, but it didn't work out that way. The sun, it was not shining on the day that I met you. I should have took that as a sign of things that would come true. You promised me a world in which you love me every day. sad and lonely, 'cause it didn't work out that way.
All right. Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers live. See, I got off flush. Tom Boone.
Gotcha.
All right, we're going to try this one more time. Tom Boone and the Back Porch Pickers. That was good.
I don't know why you're in such a hurry.
Very good. Yeah. Very good.
And Tom Boone is live on Cumberland Country here, and we've got a few minutes left. Tom, let my listeners know how they can find out more about you. Your website.
We're on Facebook at, of course, Tom Boone and Back Porch Pickers. We're on Reverb Nation. We're on the Eastwood Records website.
All right, good deal. Well, let's close out the show with a live one.
All righty.
We got a few minutes left.
This is a song by an old fella that used to hang around Lebanon Junction. All right. Way back in the Wildwood, there stood a shanty there. Back up in the hickory grove, he did not have a care. TV came from Louisville to have a little stare. He cooked him up some possum and they put him on the air. Your wheels are rolling, your wheels are rolling, was his famous cry. Tobacco juice upon his chin and a twinkle in his eye. Oh, John, tell him so, you're grinning ear to ear. And when you cross that railroad track, you'll turn around to hear. He'd stand upon the sidewalk, newspaper in his hand. He'd always turn it upside down to make you look again. When he gathered your attention to his burlap sack he'd send. If you guess how many fish in here, I'll give you both of them. Your wheels are rolling, your wheels are rolling, was his famous cry. Tobacco juice upon his chin and a twinkle in his eye. Oh, John, tell him so, you're grinning ear to ear. And when you cross that railroad track, you'll turn around to hear. Once I saw him walking and I offered him a ride. He climbed into my pickup truck, got on the passenger side. He said, take me to the river and then please throw me in. But when we reached the liquor store, that ride came to an end. Your wheels are rolling, your wheels are rolling, was his famous cry. Tobacco juice upon his chin and a twinkle in his eye. Oh, John, tell him so, you're grinning ear to ear. And when you cross that railroad track, you'll turn around to hear. Old John's no longer with us, he's long since passed away. No longer at the railroad tracks, I miss him every day. And though he's gone to entertain those spirits in the sky, each time I cross that railroad track, I still can hear him cry. Your wheels are rolling, your wheels are rolling, was his famous cry. Tobacco juice upon his chin and a twinkle in his eye. Oh, John, tell him so, you're grinning ear to ear. And when you cross that railroad track, you'll turn around to hear.
Yeah.
take a look at the WCHQ Concert View for Thursday, December 1st. All right, folks, got a bunch of great shows for you on this fine Thursday. How about over at Gerstl's tonight? You can go and see the War Paintings. Then at Murrow's Whiskey Kitchen, Mr. Bob Rutherford. Over at the Silver Dollar tonight, it's Nellie Pearl with Bennett Wells. Down at Goodwood Brewing tonight, it's Live Local Thursdays with Tom Boone. 4th Street Live tonight has Brent Young, Josh Bogart, and Rachel Timberlake. Don't forget to tune in to WCHQ 100.9 at 6:30 tonight for Cumberland Country, where they will feature the music of Tom Boone. And at 8 o'clock, the Hippy Head Spotlight will feature the music of Moondog.
This has been your WCHQ Concert View. If you've got a show you'd like to let us know about, go to CrescentHillRadio.com and hit the icon at the top of the screen that says List Your Gig.
Now here's T.D. Young.